New Year's and the holidays are a good time to reflect on what's happened in the previous year, beside the obvious, and to plan what's coming for 2021. I can't believe that 1 year ago I was excited at the idea of reaching my first 1,000 subscribers and at the idea of releasing my first commercial game as an indie developer. But now, at the start of 2021, I've not only published my game, but I've also released a couple of major updates for it, and we're reaching close to 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. And this is just amazing. It blows me away. It's all thanks to you guys listening, and I want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing and watching all my videos. It really means a lot to me, and you're just amazing. And that includes you, the guy at the back here. Yeah, in the corner. You're awesome. I love you. Thank you so much. It's really nice to look at Solar Rogue and how it started. Like, when I first created the prototype in Godot, the graphics were just placeholder, awful stuff, and the gameplay was really basic, and the UI was, oh god, awful. And then as I refined things for the early access launch, I hired an artist and things started looking a little bit better, but it was still a little bit rough around the corner. And now at the end of the year, if you look at the latest update I released, it's so beautiful, I think. I really like what the game has become, and I think it looks beautiful, but also under the hood, there's been so much content added and so much changes. But now I have to ask myself what my goals are going to be for 2021. And of course, as far as YouTube is concerned, I'm going to just keep doing more of the same thing. I really love doing these devlog and these tutorials, so I'm going to keep doing that. But as far as Solar Rogue is concerned, there's definitely a bunch of things I still want to get done in the game. I'm working right now on something I call the Electronic Warfare update, and it's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. It's gonna add a bunch of weapons and tools and ships and enemies that are specialized in hacking and disabling elements of your ships. So it's going to slow you down or disable your weapon, and you might even be able to equip items that will allow you to just take over someone else's ship. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out with everything else in the game already. I'm also going to be working on a bunch of quality of life features that people have talked to me about either on my Discord or on Reddit, and I'm going to try to implement this in the game until the next version. But I'm doing this professionally, so I have to ask myself if this is something viable for the future and for next year. And I'm not going to be sharing all the detail of my sales and the money I made and how much I spent on making the game right now, because I want to wait till version 1.0 and have a lot of data to present to you guys at the same time. But for now, I can just say that I don't think I can keep working on Solar Rogue for the next year with the amount of money it's making. So I've started thinking about my next project. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still working full-time on Solar Rogue right now, but if you're planning to release a commercial game and you want it to be successful, well, you have to plan ahead of time what you're going to do with it, what your goals are, and all of this takes incredibly a lot of time. So in my spare time, in my free time, I've been looking at prototypes and ideas and technologies about what I could potentially do as my next project. That's also a bit why recently on my channel you might have seen me playing around in Blender or doing some third-person shooter tutorial. They're a very fun project for YouTube, but they're also my way of experimenting and testing different technologies and strategies and ideas and seeing what I like and what I find a little bit boring or something, and trying to find something that could be my next project. I don't have anything concrete right now, but I'm still looking, so if you have any comments or idea or suggestion for a cool game I could perhaps implement, then just leave a comment below and I'll be sure to read them. When I came to Japan and started this adventure of being a solo developer, I knew I needed to take it into small steps. And that's why if you look at my very first videos, which are pretty awful, really feel like it fits in the design of the rest, but for now it's working. They were about making a very basic app that throws dice on your phone. And the reason I chose that is because it took me basically 2 weeks to implement all the features of the game, and it was very easy to release and publish on the different stores. It still took me a while to do because there was so many things that I needed to set up, like a business email, business accounts, and registering on the Apple developer, and all of these kind of things that used to be done for me automatically as a developer in a big company. And then once I had that, I started working on Solar Rogue, which was the perfect small indie game because it doesn't have much graphics, it doesn't have a very complex game loop, it doesn't have meta progression or something, and especially it doesn't have any online features which make everything harder to do. And don't get me wrong, I'd very much like to keep working on Solar Rogue, but if I release the version 1.0 this year, maybe it's going to go as a more part-time endeavor and I could start working on a new project. And this time I'm thinking, well, let's go up another rank, and maybe this time I could try my hand at making a free-to-play game with a bit of online. Now, I don't know exactly what it could be, I just think that a free-to-play game would be great. As a solo developer, it would be easier to share the game to everyone, it would be easier to share it with you guys, and it would also be easier to get feedback and criticism and ideas so that I could create a community of players and eventually maybe make it into a successful game. Now, I know that free-to-play games can be a death trap for people. It's full of cringe and money-grabbing scheme, and I definitely want to avoid that as much as possible. So it's going to need to have a very, 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 very well thought out design. But I think it's something that could be possible, but I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do. But that gives you an idea of what to expect for my channel in 2021. I hope that interests you, that you're going to hit the subscribe button maybe for my next video. And until then, stay safe and see you all in my next video. Bye!